Welcome back once again. Come for a walk with me. Out to the garage, of course. What have I got here? Well, that was the sample I just took to the local laser cutting company to get them to give me a price for the steel project that I have got on currently, of which this is part of it here. If you've suffered along with me so far, I was making the lofty claims about what I was attempting here. Still will do it, still will be making them nonetheless. But as hard or as fastidious as I tried to be, when I etched the marks on my bar and then centre punched them, I was less than pleased. And when I was down at this the local company called Pro Metal here in Christchurch, I just made the comment that it was almost as if the steel had a grain, and when I was doing my centre pop punches, the damn thing would move ever so slightly. You could witness it by the crosshairs that I'd effectively scratched into the steel. And they looked okay, but when I centre punched it, you could perceive that there was perhaps, a misalignment. And I thought, okay, that can't be much. It's just that the fineness of the scribed line and the centre punch, just perhaps it wasn't that great. But when I put my centre spot drilled mark in the steel and then gave, what did I use, a 6mm? Yes, a 6mm pilot hole, you could again perceive a tiny, tiny little off-centeredness. In fact, I can see it on this one. I perceive that this hole is off-center to the scribe line. And if I can see that, and that's a 13mm hole, if I can see that, there's a really good chance that it is really there. It's not perception, it's actually reality. For the most part, like that one there and that one there, they look fine. So I can mic it up. I'll probably do that before I finish tapping them. I've put my first tap in there. But I thought, and this was something I did actually mention, to be fair to myself, I did mention that if all goes badly, I've got some really sturdy garden stakes. Kind of tongue-in-cheek, but reality is, through my best efforts, the multiple numbers of scribe marks, I'm thinking, I don't have the patience, perseverance, or necessary skill to get the end result that I demand of this project. And the need to have it accurate so I can get my bench dogs in the right place, really, I like to go that little bit further. So I got a little bit annoyed with the whole situation and went down, and I have to send back some more information to them and they'll give me a price. It is one of those instances, I think, that it's better to bite the bullet, admit your limitations, and get someone from a industry that is specialists. Otherwise, why else have a company or industry that specialise if everyone could do it? And of course, I'm a little bit frustrated. I can just see me putting more work into it and winding up with not as good a result as I would want. The reason I'm going to carry on doing these is pig-headedness. Probably the only thing I can actually say. I'll get a price. If it's too onerous, I'll want to use these anyway. It might well be honestly, I'm not saying this won't work, but what I'm saying, I was a bit concerned that it wouldn't. So I'll finish them and make my tests and see how accurate they are. If I do wind up getting the laser cut versions of it, then it will be interesting to compare. And for that reason alone, it might be that my pig-headedness pays off. It will either confirm the accuracies or shows that it was just so out that getting it laser cut was the right way. I was really hoping not to go down that route, but I heard my own commentary the other night saying about the accuracy issues, and today when I etched the lines and I could witness what I just mentioned to you, I thought, we're talking like a fraction of a millimetre, but you can perceive that the crosshair not lining up on the tangent point of the hole that I drilled. So if you can perceive it, it's there. Okay, that was it. It was a wee bit of a mea culpa about the my lofty claims about doing this. That also means what I'd mentioned about the sunk costs. The costs that I have sunk, figuratively and literally, into this project is where you can get bitten sometimes. But you don't know until you try and fail. If I had succeeded, oh, what a clever boy I would have been. But, yeah, darn it. You never know. I might finish it. Well, I will finish it and then compare it to the proper made one, and I'll be rightly impressed with myself. But I've got the feeling that is not going to be the case. All that work. Well, at least I've got a fairly straight piece of steel now, because the edge of that steel had been trued up to around about 3 thou, so I have got a straight bit of steel. Until I've actually drilled holes in it, have I introduced or relieved or introduced stresses into it which have affected it. So that'll be interesting. By the time I've finished tapping them all, I might just put it back on the table on the bench and mic it up again and see what it's like. Anyway, that's where I'm at the moment. A little bit annoyed, but also I want the end result to be what I want it to be, rather than it be some half-assed sort of thing that some smart cookie in a woodworking workshop thought he could do. So, yeah. Oh well. Onwards and upwards. Okay, we'll see you in the next one now. Bye.